सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। Yesterday we saw this Ishavasya, that is my nature. But then, because of the ignorance which is inborn, since birth I have swabhavikam, and because of that ignorance, I take myself to be Anisha. I take myself to be Karta Bhokta, a Jiva, a Samsari, a limited, etc., Dukhi. And that is incidental. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji gives an example like a sandalwood paste. It would emit a very fragrant smell. But then, when it remains in contact with the water for length of time, it sticks. Again, you scrub it, it gives fragrance. Similarly, the scrubbing of Viveka, scrubbing of Shastra, Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasanam will bring out the beauty, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, that is inherent to me, that is myself. Now, this knowledge, please understand, at least till you own it up, to resolve things, we have to own up by Nididhyasana. We have to resolve those habitual errors. And it requires effort on my part. And when I say Ishavasyam idam sarvam, everything is non-separate from Ishvara, that includes my body also. That includes my mind also. That includes my emotions also. That includes my knowledge also. Nothing is away from. And Ishvara is away from everything. Like in a movie theater, the hero, the heroine, the pain, the joy, ecstasy, the agony, everything, all emotions, and all the sins are not away from light. The light is away from them. So also all emotions in the mind are never away from the consciousness. But consciousness is away from it. They are within the consciousness. My love, emotion of anger, emotion of sadness, depression, frustration, irritation, hatred, compassion, any emotion you name it, it is nothing but the play, like a movie screen. play of the consciousness. I need not squeeze the ocean, the waves, to know it to be water. I need not remove all the thoughts, all the emotions to know that I am the conscious. You have to see. As clearly I see that this tumbler is a tumbler, but there is a steel also. And that is the truth of it. So also it is to be seen. The experiencer, experience and experienced, subject object division, let it be there. You need not remove that division. People try to meditate and remove everything, be thoughtless, no thought of subject, no thought of object. Thereby you can realize the self. No, we are not talking of consciousness or non-duality where there is absence of duality. We are saying in spite of duality, you are non-dual consciousness. In spite of variety, there is only one truth. And to own up this truth, what is required? Very beautiful loaded sentence of Bhagavan Shankaracharya. I'll just read for you. Some of you can follow Sanskrit. Try to understand. He says, Sarvam idam aham cha Ishvara eva iti. Sarvam idam, whatever is I. And that is Ishvara. You know, that is a knowledge. But who is qualified for this knowledge? Just by the way, when we don't have knowledge, our culture gives us the forms where you can see divinity everywhere. I don't see myself as the divine principle, as they call it. I don't own up myself as the truth of the entire creation. But we are taught, this is inculcated from childhood in the culture itself, that you see everything is pious, everything is divine, including this body. Therefore, we do this sadhana. This body is an abode of Ishvara. Even bathing is for Ishvara. It is an abhishekam. Therefore, we invoke 7 Nadyaha, 7 rivers, Gange, Yamuna, Cheva, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmade, Sindhu, Kaveri, etc., etc. Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. You know, in America, you have to say, Shavaresmin Sannidhim Kuru. May there be all these 7 rivers in the shower. Or Tabesmin, bathing Tabesmin. In that bathing tub, may there be all those rivers, and I do bathe. Even ornamenting, putting ornaments. Kundala, men used to wear that. It was not a fashion. This Chandanam is not a fashion. It is to the Lord who is the very substratum abode of abiding in this body, as though. So everything is worshipped in this culture, that the attitude of Ishavasya. Mountains are worshipped, rivers are worshipped, animals are worshipped, birds are worshipped, ocean is worshipped, everything is worshipped. But then who can gain this knowledge? Therefore, Shankaracharya writes, Adhikritasya, one who is qualified, what? Yukti kushalasya cha vichare kushalasya cha sarva karma sannyase adhikara. Iti. That is what is now trying to establish. One may have a sharp intellect, a subtle intellect to see the logic, but then to own up this vision in our moment-to-moment existence, you require a mind. And for that it is said, Tena tyaktena bhunjitha. Bhunjitha by tyaga. Now, bhunja, as I said, the verb bhojane comes from the word bhunj only. Bhuj verb has two meanings. When it is Atmane Padam, it is Palane. And when it is Parasmai Padam, it is Bhojanam, eating. Okay? So that Sahana Bhavatu mantra, Sahanau Bhunaktu. That Bhunaktu, Sahavidyam Karvavahi. The Bhunaktu is there. So many people in India chant this mantra while taking food. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu. It is not mantra for food. Their puja is not eating. Puja is rakshanam, rakshane. It is atmanepada. Sahana vavatu. It is not na vavatu. Sahanau avatu. That's a sentence. With the sandhi rule, sahanau avatu becomes sahana vavatu. Saha, Paramatma, Ishvara, or together. Saha became to be together. Now avatu, may he protect our rakshane. May the Lord protect us together. Sahanau bhunaktu. May he nourish, not that we eat together. Okay. Why you can say, you may ask me, why Swamiji not eating? It can be eating. But see the next line. Saha viryam karvavahi. May we together put in the efforts. And the last one is very clear. Tejasvinau adhitamastu. Adhitam means patitam. Whatever we studied, let it be shining bright. Let it reflect in our day-to-day life. Where is the eating business? You know, may you protect us because she cooks like that. may you nourish us. May we put into efforts together because her food, she cooks such a way that to digest you need efforts. This lady, other day she said, talking to another lady, my husband nowadays is doing a lot of prayers when we sit for the food. And he has become a great bhakta. Like a bhakti ma gari gyo. So the other lady says, he has not become a bhakta, he is praying for digestion. You are cooking such a food that when you throw out for the dogs and cats outside the home, street dogs, they don't eat. कुत्ते भी नहीं खाते और गली छोड़ के कुत्ते चले गए तेरा खाना खा खा के तो फिर he is not into bhakti, he is into self prayer, self protection prayer. So bhunaktu is here in terms of nourishing, not eating. Means protecting, rakshane, palane, rakshane, bhuja, atmanepada. So, yaktena bhunjitha, by renouncing, by giving up, may you protect. Now, tyaga of what? What is to be renounced? What is to be given up? And why should I give up? The first level of giving up is giving up your likes and dislikes. Not likes and dislikes, but to be specific, the hold of likes and dislikes over you. The individual is driven by his or her likes and dislikes. His or her own values, all that are based on likes and dislikes, strong likes and dislikes. That drives the person. And that is to be given up. So may you be the master of your likes and dislikes, not that you be driven by that. In the third chapter, there is a beautiful discussion. Some of you listening Gujarati classes might have heard. Indriyasya indriyasyarthe ragadvesho vyavasthito. It's bound to be there. Every object And every sense organ, when they come in contact with each other, there will be some like and dislike coming, manifesting. Indriyasya arthe ragadvesho asti eva astastau sad. Then tayoho vasham na agache. May not come under the sway of likes and dislikes. Why? Tauhi asya paripanthi. No, they are the looters. For the seeker of the moksha, they loot you away. They divert you out of the marga. Why? Raga dvesha is a seed which gives rise to desire. And there are lots and lots of fancies that manifest in the mind in day-to-day life. Feel like doing, feel like enjoying, feel like seeing, feel like eating, etc. So many things, so many desires for change and all that come. But some of them are so strong that individual is pushed to pursue them. Which desire will I pursue? Which desire will I work for? Fulfillment, only when it is strong. These likes and dislikes drive my life. I am driven by the likes and dislikes. They are within me. Then, now when I go for, that is ragadvesha, give rise to desire. Desire means the pursuit to gain or give up something from the external world other than me. Pursuit of something other than me. When I am pursuing my desires that accept the moksha, that pursuit is nothing but bhogecha, or desire for salam, same, security, or desire for some name. And what are the desire? We'll see. There is one mantra also which Bhashyakara quotes here. That means a person becomes extrovert. That is called Atma Tiraskara. You are neglecting yourself. The first giving up is giving up of likes and dislikes. The hold of it. The mind is not, you are not driven by likes and dislikes. How do I give up? Taktena. The first level of giving up happens by living a life of dharma, a life of duty, technically called pravrutti marga. The discussion will come in the introduction of the second mantra. When the person is relatively free from the holds of likes and dislikes, it gives rise to viveka. And viveka in turn gives rise to vairagya. The second level of giving up is a lifestyle of sannyasa. Sannyasa born out of maturity. Sannyasa born out of internal growth. Sannyasa that is born out of clarity about what I want and what I have been doing. That is sannyasa. I want total happiness. I want security, and none of these pursuits, none of these achievements so far has provided me this. And therefore, I want to withdraw. That withdrawal is neither out of frustration or failure or any other reason. Withdrawal is out of maturity. That what Swami Dayanji used very beautifully used to define. There is no connection between what I want and what I pursue. That clarity gives to lifestyle of sannyas. And the third giving up, the ultimate tyaga, is tyaga of avidya or avidya karya ahankara. That ahankara is falsified. And that happens through knowledge. When, when, when you study the Shastra, this raga dveshas or this desires, Shankaracharya ji writes here, chitta vikshepa hetutvena, that keeps the mind restless. It keeps the mind extrovert. And therefore, from the hold of desires is called sannyasa. And what is that giving up? Giving up the desires. That is three type. All desires are categorized in three category: utreshna, vitteshna, and lokeshna. There is a vakya in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad that vitthaya putreshna, vitteshna, lokeshna, bhyo vitthaya bhikshacharyam charanti. They commit to the life of bhiksha. Who are these people who have grown out of all this kind of desires? Desires for sun means security, emotional joys, sense of contentment. That is putreshna. Desire to survive is also putreshna. Because my name will be carried. I want to create a mark in the book of history, in the history book. But history itself is change. Where is your mark going to be there? New government comes and they will change the history. Or like Indian governments taught us all wrong histories. What should be taught, they never taught. And what is wrong, they kept teaching us. And we grew up like that. So, history is an impermanent thing. Utreshna. Vitteshna means desire for money, security, buying power. Lokeshna means name and fame. That is like giving direct sugar to the body. Glucose, saline. Put saline into system, it straightway goes. It's a saline for ahankara. People know me. I am on TV. This location only people are on Twitter, because I have so many followers. My tagline is trending now. All these media people also write, ours is the channel number one channel. This program is number one. Facebook, so many followers. This is all because of the location, a desire to be famous. That is why every youngster wants to become a film hero, wants to be a celebrity. They should be known, wants to market. Not only market, they do something and want to put pictures. They should see me. I was doing like this. Standing on the cliff and I take a picture. And if not really there, you create some Photoshop business and show that. If nothing is there available, make the faces on the Photoshop. People should follow. Location. This is first level of bondage. Please understand, there is no other bondage. This desire for progeny and family, desire for money and all that, and desire for fame, this is a bondage. Jaktena, that mind is not free. Mind riddled with such kind of desires is vikshipta, is restless. No, Swamiji, my mind is very quiet. You don't know. Really? Okay. Sit for 3 minutes, just 3 minutes in meditation. Sit there and do japa. In those days, there used to be one song. around the world in $8. You know, that's what is the business. Around the world in $8. This fellow goes around the world free of cost. Sitting in India, thinks of somebody who is in Port Blair and who is in West Indies and who is in US and then again from East Coast to West Coast and Canada and all places. Goes around and goes to Corona and that is it, fixes up in China. You know? And my mind is not restless. This freedom, tyaktena, this tyaga of desires, means, listen this, growing out of. You can't give up desire because you don't will a will. You don't desire to desire. Desires don't take your permission. Should I come, sir? And will you entertain me, sir? He takes you for a ride. It is like, so in India, some girls, go take a dog for a walk in the morning. I don't know who is taking walk and who is walking and who is taken for a walk. And that typical teenage girl has such a big dog and she is like a Pisa tower, Italian tower. No, Tommy, no, Tommy. And Tommy doesn't listen. That is your mind. That extrovertedness, restlessness, when one is free, and then that when that free mind, there is a moksha. Please understand. There are people who have moksha, but it is one of the ichha. 100 ichhas or desires are there, and one is moksha also. I mean, they have so many desires, and one desire is there to attend classes. When I am free, I attend classes. When I get time, I attend classes. But not that this is the thing. Swamiji noticed once when we were traveling in the flight, that's a good thing about India. They are very helping in the airport. Everywhere people are helping to some extent. Every country they help, but here it's a typical way of helping. In US, if you are late, nobody bothers, plane moves, full stop. Here when you have taken a boarding pass and you are late and there is a big queue on the security, the staff of that airlines will come shouting. Indigo, Ahmedabad passengers, Indigo, Ahmedabad passengers, and then you raise your hand. Simple. You raise your hand, then your number may be 50 or 60. Then you are straightway taken to the front, and the security will also help you to clear, and the staff will also walk, brisk walking, and sometimes run. Come on, sir, run, sir, run. And they will put you in the plane. That kind of desire is called moksha. Okay, now Swami is calling moksha passenger, moksha passenger for the class. Moksha. I may go by next flight. I don't care. Then that is a careless attitude to attend the classes, careless attitude to write notes. Suddenly remember, oh, today is a class. Where is my Ishavasya book? Where did I put it? Last time, soon after the class, I had to go somewhere and I don't know where did I put it. That means still the mind is not free. Still the mind has not grown. Still the problem has not been discerned. After so much of listening, the value for moksha is not discovered. If you miss the infinity, I'm talking of infinity. That is you. And if you miss it, your loss is infinite. That should be seen clearly. And there is so much of value for the parties and the friends and then going here and there and all kinds of things. Then this gets a last priority. The satsanga, listening to Shastras also helps you to be clear about your life priorities, helps one to be clear about the goal of the life. This is a beautiful thing. For whatever reason and some punya you start attending, more you study, more you, if you study means sincerely, then more you become committed to the pursuit. That is called yagena. And having taken to life of sannyasa, please understand what is sannyasa. You know, sannyasa means giving up the pressure to have something, inner pressure. Giving up the demands. Giving up means growing out of those demands. And there is clarity that I want only moksha at the exclusion of everything else. Nothing else I want. So thereafter also one has to be conscious that one may not drift away. You start making corona tablets and chavanpras and haldi powder and you start making clothes also. You end up and then start Ayurveda shop and goshalas and all kinds of things. I have seen people when they left, they were well-meaning. But then down the line somewhere they lost the track and something else became more priority. And that clarity is Tyaga. By the fire of wisdom, by the fire of clarity, you keep burning all those other desires that is called Taktena. And the last Tyaga is, even after the study, listen why Shruti says, Tena Tyaktena Bhunjita. Because this knowledge, one may gain it, some vision. One may be able to hold on to this knowledge for some time. But as they say, old habits die hard. This Dehatma Buddhi, I sense with reference to body that there is a joy in the worldly objects. Sometimes it becomes so powerful that it takes the person away. That is why we have discussion in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita about Yoga Brashta. Kaschid Hayati Shraddhayopetaha Yogachalita Manasa. Chalita Manasa. Mind swerved away from the goal. And then he is doing a lot of efforts. Even well-meaning person. But something happens so powerful that fellow got carried away. It requires an alert life. Consciously giving up and trying to see the wisdom that you gain through the teacher, to see in our day-to-day life. And therefore giving up the Dehatma Buddhi, giving up the identification with physio-psycho complex. It is called Tyaktena Bhunjita. May you protect this vision by Tyaga. Tyaga that is called Nididhyasana, by doing renunciation of habitual identification, by renouncing habitual errors and renouncing a desire for any other pursuit. The clarity about the goal, the priority in life should be there, clarity about it. And that is called Tyaga. Then this wisdom is protected. Protected for what? To own up, so that you don't need to protect it. And that is why mantra says, Tena Tyaktena Punjita. You have to see the mithyatvam of Jagat. You have to see the mithyatvam of your emotions. See the mithyatvam of my insistence, my values. Appreciate ideal. This is improper. I will not tolerate. Hey, everything is mithya. Take it. As they say, American children, be cool. You know, accept the things and grow out of it. Tena tyaktena bunjitha. First, tyaga of hold of likes and dislikes by dharma. Second, tyaga of all karmas and committing to pursuit of moksha. While living that lifestyle, constant tyaga of any other pursuit, and having had some insight, some understanding about the truth, I keep on negating the identification with body-mind complex. In other words, doing nididhyasana, dehatma buddhi tyaga, then the vision is protected. And the last part of the mantra is Ma gradaha kasya svidhanam. Ishavasya sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjithaha ma gradaha kasya svidhanam. You know, ma gradaha. May you not covet, may you not desire others' wealth. Okay? May you not have a desire for others' wealth. That is one meaning. Kasya svidhanam magrada. May you not have a desire for someone's wealth. That is a translation of the mantra. Okay? Do not covet anyone's wealth. Another meaning also is possible. Kasya svidhanam, question, magrada. Whom does the wealth belong to? Don't covet. I'll explain both the meanings. One meaning is don't covet for anyone's else wealth. And secondly, whose wealth it is, don't covet. Okay? Second meaning looks little, you can say, more palatable. Both are proper since Shruti has used it. Because the one who has taken to life of sannyasa, one who has taken to life of Shravana Manan Dityasana, one who is committed to giving up of the Atma Buddhi, certainly that person may not covet anyone else's wealth. Okay? But still, out of sheer some habitual insecurity or some need, because lives a life of renunciation, he or she may covet the desire because of Purva Janma Samskara, may want some wealth. Even the person may want wealth to do some Loka Sangra Karya for society. But then you don't seek, that means what? Don't have this feeling, this fellow has so much and he or she is not giving to me. Even if you want it for genuine cause, even if one is very much capable of resourceful in giving, and if he doesn't give, that's fine. Don't have expectations or don't covet that this such and such a rich person or moneyed person should give me something. Magrada. Kasya dhanam. Either you one seek out of one's own old samskara or sense of insecurity or sense that he or she wants to do something even for lok sangraha, for the well-being of the society. Don't covet, Ishvara will take care. That is the second meaning. Kasya dhanam. To whom does the wealth belong to? Money doesn't belong to anyone. No? Our Shastra or our culture has a vision that Lakshmi ji is a wife of Narayana. You know? And If you read Vishnu Puran or Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that she is always united to Narayana. She always seeks Narayana. She always follows Narayana. Even this story of Samudra Manthanam, churning the ocean, and that churning brought about Lakshmi ji. So therefore, she is called Samudra Tanaya. She is a daughter of ocean. So when she came out, her splendor, her grace was so much that all Devatas and Danavas coveted her. Suddenly all those become free from any kind of spondylitis. The neck became longer because she came with a Varamala straight from the Samudra. There is a mention that when she came out of the Samudra, she straight had a Varamala. She had a mala, but I don't know how did they understood that it is a Varamala only. Maybe they were enchanted by her beauty and the splendor and whatever it is. And it is mentioned, all Devata's neck got stretched out and Danavas, and they were looking at her. Narayana went. Narayana thought it is a good time to take rest. I have been helping all these guys in some churning the ocean, and I am a little tired, so let me stretch out. So he went aside and stretched out. Lakshmi ji came searching for him. And it is mentioned, she says, I can never be away from you. I belong to you only. And therefore, she didn't offer this Varamala to anyone. The message of the story is, whatever wealth is there, the wealth is Ishvara's wealth. Wealth doesn't mean money. Understand? Our Shastra talks about eightfold Shri. Dhana Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi, Dhairya Lakshmi, Virya Lakshmi, Vijaya Lakshmi, Vara Lakshmi, Graha Lakshmi, Gnana Lakshmi. And Lakshmi also doesn't mean money. Lakshmi means joys, happiness. Vishaya Sukham is Lakshmi also. Vishaya Sukham also is Lakshmi. A Grahastha has to do Uparjanam, earn eightfold wealth. Dhana, Dhanya, Dhairya, Virya, Vara, Vijaya, Graha, Santana. All things. Then there is complete Abhyudaya Sukham. So whenever you have any kind of Sukham, assess with whose it is. It is nothing but Ishvara's. It belongs to Ishvara. No? That Bhagavan is giving you joys. It's a grace. Accept or look upon whatever kind of dhanam you have as a grace. Means Ishwarasya, kasyas with dhanam. Dhanam is whose? Like Lakshmi belongs to Narayana, it is Ishvara's only. I am just a trustee. I don't own it. I have freedom to use and I have freedom to manage it. It doesn't belong. That is called kasyas with dhanam. Wealth belongs to whom? Nothing but Ishvara. With this attitude, live the life. Means whatever you have, it is the grace all the way. Any kind of success. Like that Mahabharata story. Very beautifully mentioned at the end, last verse of Bhagavad Gita. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishnaha, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha. Whenever there is Yogeshwara Krishna and Arjuna, which Krishna? They deliberate adjectives, one for Krishna and another for Arjuna. Very proper adjective. Dhanur Daraha Partha, not Kunti Putra Partha. No, never they say. Dhanur Daraha. And in the first chapter also we see, at the end of the first chapter, the Sanjaya says, Vishrujya Sasharam Chapam Soka Samvigna Manasa. He gave up Sasharam Chapam, bows with arrows. He gave up bow and arrow. That is the first chapter, Shoka Vishtaha. Overtaken by grief, the Arjuna who was overtaken by grief. That is the first chapter, Arjuna. In the 18th chapter, last verse is, wherever there is Arjuna with bow and arrow. Sasharam Arjuna. Bow and arrow implies sadhanam, karma sadhana. In first chapter, when it is mentioned, having given up the bows and arrow, Arjuna just sat down in the chariot, almost fell down in the chariot, couldn't stand on his legs. That means sasadhanam karma parityaktava. Nayotse iti govindam uktva tushnim babu. He declared his intention. I shall not fight. And gave up the bows and arrow and sat down. That means he gave up the means of action and the action itself. You may say, I will not do it, and still hold on the means. It is like some children. I will not drink milk, but they don't give up the milk. They hold the cup. They want mom to pacify them. No, no, please, 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 oblige me, and then they drink. So, sasadhanam. Dhanurdarha partha means Arjuna ready to act. Arjuna ready to do purushartha. Arjuna ready to do what is to be done or what is he wants to do, whatever. And when that Arjuna is accompanied by whom? Krishna. But then there is an adjective. In the first chapter, you find Gudakesha, Rishikesha, Madhusudana, etc. Is that Krishna? No, 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 no. Yogeshwara. That means Krishna, the one who that's not one who killed one demon or this demon or that demon. Yogeshwara. Jagat Ishvara. The Krishna who is the Lord of Jagat, who is Karma Dakshaha, who is Karma Fal Data. When these two are together, the Arjuna is a symbol of Jiva. Krishna symbolizes Ishvara. The Ishvara and the Jiva ready to act. Tatra, there, second line. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanvara, Tatra Shrihi Vijayaha Bhutihi Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. This Sanjay says, this is my considered opinion. This is my clear understanding. When these two are together, then there is Vijayaha and Shrihi. Tatra Shri starts with Shri, Vijayaha, Bhuti, everything. That means Arjuna is a symbol of Jiva. Jiva does all karma, but there is a success. There is a sukham, phalam, desired phalam and sukham in that karma. Only when the karma is accompanied by grace, Ishvara, Krupa. So when there is a, like McDonald's combo, they give combo offer. If there is a combo of Jivatma, Purusharthi Jivatma, and the Ishvara who is giving, showering the grace. Tatra Shri. Then there is joys and success. So whatever joys and success that I have, assist with, it belongs to Ishvara. That don't claim the wealth. Don't claim the resources as my own. It is Ishvara Krupa that is Vyavara. Paramatma Buddhya Shri Achadaniya. Whatever resources you have, you cover it with an attitude of acceptance of what? Grace. Means look at yourself. Very beautifully said, but as a trustee of your resource. You are not the owner. You are a trustee, and the resources are to be used for helping others or the well-being of others, and for your dharma and moksha only. It's the objective of this janma. Therefore, the another meaning is assess with dhanam mag. It doesn't belong to anyone. Therefore, don't covet the wealth. It belongs to Narayana. There is one Mahatma, very beautifully, in a lighter way of saying this, used to say this. People always want money and they want to hold on, save, and then put in the safe and lock it and all that. And they don't have bhakti. So this Mahatma used to say, thoda bhakti karo, do some bhakti, keep Narayana in the home. See, you should call Narayana first, then Lakshmi. If you don't call Narayana and just keep the Lakshmi, हिंदी में कहते रखना है. किसी की बीवी को घर में ज्यादा रखोगे तो वो डंडा लेके मारना आएगा. If you keep his spouse in your house without his permission and for a long time, he will come with a big stick to beat you. So it is said Lakshmi doesn't stay without Narayana. That means you have to look at Lakshmi as belonging to Narayana. It is Narayana's grace that I have. I am not the sole author of it. I am not the sole owner of it. I just happen to have it and I just use it. Even the family is a Lakshmi. Child is a Lakshmi. Both daughter and son also is a Lakshmi, okay? In our colloquial, when the daughter is born, then there's a Lakshmi ji. The son is born, there is no Lakshmi. Putra Sukham is a Lakshmi. Spouse is a Lakshmi. So that is, Ishvara has given you. When you look at that way, if you don't wish for anyone, but if there is separation because of one person dies or something, you can accept it. It was a gift of the God. It belonged to Ishvara and he took it back. You accept it. It doesn't belong to me. It is not mine. It was a gift and I was using it for some time and for my joys and happiness, and we had it. That's fine, have it. Then I don't control, I don't possess. Assess with them, So swit shabda in Sanskrit is called nipat, means indeclinable. Like, oh, ah, wow, like those. Express a word expressing certain emotion. Whom does it belong? None. Assess with dhanam, therefore don't covet. Don't covet means be satisfied and learn to enjoy what you have. Please don't misunderstand me. Don't covet for the wealth. Doesn't mean one should not pursue. If one happens to be grihastha and has a desire to have more money, have it. Nothing wrong in it. Wants to have a better position in the corporate world or better salary or whatever, do it. Nothing wrong in it. Then be satisfied with what you have. Enjoy what you have. Today's problem I see, people have so much, but coveting something more, they don't have time to enjoy what they have. Even this simple, I'll tell you, Graha Lakshmi, Dhana Lakshmi, one of the Ashtavidha Lakshmi is Graha Lakshmi. The family is a wealth. And this is unbuyable wealth. Certain joys you can buy, but family joys you cannot buy. And now, and the wealth you have, but the people didn't have mind and time to enjoy. Literally, not less than 10 persons have told me, Swamiji, we thank, though we should not utter this, but we thank Bhagavan and China, if it is China. Chinese virus, like Donald telling this Chinese virus, he has created an opinion, Chinese virus, without in proper proving. There is not inquiry, has not been set up and is not proven, but then hoping it, he made it, this Chinese virus. He said, even if it is China, we thank China. I said, why? We lived with our children and grandchildren for so long. It gives so much of joy. Now I feel like retired. Dhanya Lakshmi, Graha Lakshmi. Modern problem is they have so much of sukham, so much of resources, but in craving something more, they don't own up what they have. So much of success the person has, but he or she doesn't fall back and own up whatever success you got it. Whatever resources you have it, own it up. But that beggarly mind goes on and on and on. This I want, this I want, this I want, goes on. So cannot enjoy what one has. Mahagruda, that is called santosha. Have some satisfaction. Satisfaction means give up momentarily what is not achieved yet. And what you have, enjoy it. People don't have time to enjoy, or they don't have psychological leisure to enjoy. This is my opinion. I may be wrong, but then I had told this 20 years ago, around more than that, maybe. First time I came, I went to US, and I was in California, and one of my students here happened to be town planning officer in San Jose County. And obviously, I had seen the congested cities and houses having common wall and short road. He said, how is America, Swamiji? Excellent, good. Then he wanted little validation and approval and praise from me. So what do you like? You like roads and traffic and all so on. Then slowly he brought me to the housing. What a beautiful housing here it is. I said, yeah, it's really good. You see, it calls for town planning, Swamiji. That means I am the one, I town planning. Then he went on a couple of times. Then I told him, I brought out my heart. I said, look, everything is good. Front courtyard and back courtyard and beautiful lawns, clean. Lawns are moved and everybody has some plants in the garden and trees and it is all clean, so nice. But I said, I would tell you one thing. Better have houses like downtown New York, closer houses. All those areas of New York. He said, why? I said, you have planned this space because this front, back front, so they occupy a lot of land. So what happens? The fellow minimum 25% generally, sometimes 30-35%, he or she ends up on the road. The person working in the west is living in the east or north, and person working in the east lives in the west. It should be like your school counties. Area in which you live, you should be getting admission. Children should have admission. Similarly, if you get job in a given company, you should get that accommodation in the radius of 3 to 5 kilometers. That is why there is automation suspension cars are there, that you don't have to change gears like India, do, 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 do. And by the time the fellow comes back home from the office, you have to work 8 hours and you have to give 100%, not 100, 120%. And then drive and the traffic and the anxiety. There is apprehension, hope there is no traffic jam and it is not moving and blah, 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 blah. All things. By the time the fellow comes home, પાણીમાં બોરેલો પાપડ ચોમાસામાં હવેલો પાપડ. The person is so exhausted. He can't do anything. And Sunday comes, the laundry is waiting. Some socializing is waiting. Lawn moving is waiting. I said, all these lawns are beautiful, but they are meant for me. Because I take morning, evening class and one mid-morning class and I enjoy others' lawns. But they don't have time to sit in the lawn. I said, you come to India and see our guys. Everybody has a swing in the lawn and they're running and playing and enjoying. And in monsoon, minimum 2-3 bhajia parties. There's pakoda parties in the lawn. They use it. What for this town planning? When it is meant for you, but you don't have time and leisure to enjoy. Because no santosh. You can't own up what you have. It is kasyas with dhanam. Ma grada. Don't covet whatever is. Own it up and be happy. And there is a next mantra, and we will see that mantra next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Like modern WhatsApps, happy Janmashtami. Everything is happy. So it is happy for us because Rama Mandir is coming. Anyway,